I was talking with someone recently, and I found out, we were just talking about how, like, a lot of artists get bad reputations for being, like, divas, because they include shit in their writers of, like, I want all the brown M&Ms taken out, right? And because of that, I don't really have a writer. Like, I just don't want a terrible reputation of being a diva, so I've just never really put stuff in my writers because of that. We were talking about that, and then I found out the story of why that even exists is because the mega awesome, super badass band Van Halen, back in the day, they were playing shows that were too big for most venues to hold. Like, venues weren't used to holding rock shows that were that massive, right? Now, the problem with that is a lot of promoters wouldn't actually read the contracts, and they'd be like, oh, Van Halen's coming, cool, and they just, like, sign off on it. And they wouldn't properly prepare to hold a band that big. And so that puts a lot of the crew members in danger when you're not checking and adhering to their safety standards that are in the contract. So what Van Halen did was they added a clause that said that they wanted all of the brown M&Ms taken out of their green room. And so that was an easy way for them to know the second they walked into the venue, as soon as they walked into their green room, if there were brown M&Ms, they were like, okay, this isn't going to be a safe show. And they were legally allowed to just leave. And they did that in order to save the lives of crew members, because some guys in lighting and sound could, like, die. You could literally die if it's not a safe show. So now here we are 30 years later, and the story that gets told is that they're self-absorbed divas, super conceited and very specific and hoity-toity about what they want in their writers in their green room at their fancy shows, when, like, the reality is they were just doing this for safety stuff. They were doing this to save lives. But that's not the story we're told, right? Another awesome story that explains the music industry in a nutshell is John Fogerty, the guy that wrote all of the songs for Creedence Clearwater Revival, when he left and went solo and started writing and singing his own stuff after previously writing and singing for Creedence. The label that he left tried to sue him for plagiarism, for plagiarizing himself. There was a lawsuit